The other day, I attended the book launch of Just Me, an autobiography written by Joy Virata, who is an actress, director, playwright, and now author. It was a happy reunion of sorts of multi generational repertory Philippine stalwarts. Some I grew up with, others grew up around us.
Say hello, the British side.
Hello, it's the British side.
The friends and family who were there that day all play a part in Tita Joy's story.
Hello.
Oh, it's your vlog.
It's my vlog.
Hi, hello, Discoveries.
Oh, it's a video.
Of course.
Friends and family who were there that day are very fortunate to be part of Tita Joy's life, and we are very eager to see how we play out in her story. For those who don't know, Tita Joy is half British.
You will notice there are scones on the table, and there is cream and jam, and that represents the English. Then on the buffet, after you finish with the English side, there is pancit and bibingka. That is my Philippine side. So that is what we have now.
I am Joy Virata, daughter of Joy and Cesar. Yes, they are a couple. And it's amazing how many people don't know how that they are a couple, even though they've been married for 66 years already. Wow.
A reading from the Book of Joy. Chapters 8 and 13. A whole lot of verses. About a year before my mom died, I had begun to scout around for something to do other than playing tennis at Manila Polo Club. I had joined the production of My Fair Lady in a small part. Anyway, a friend, Joan Fang, who knew I was, well, I think antsy best describes what I was, and knew I loved the theater, brought me to her friend who had a theater company, Zenaida Amador. The company was Repertory Philippines, or REP. I auditioned, and probably because I was Caesar's wife, Bibod, as she was called, Amador, took a chance that I would be an asset. I was still not relaxed. I was cast in a play called How the Other Half Loves, a romantic comedy. And I had a script. All I had to do was memorize it. Bibot was kind and patient. The cast was composed of Baby Barredo, Chito Ponce Enrile, Freddy Santos, Margot Pimentel, Jorge Ortol, and me. Many, many years later, Baby herself told me that when I first joined, she had asked Bibot, "What did you find that woman?" Insinuating that I had been terrible, but also in a way willing to admit, after 30 years or so, that I had improved. The first weekend of the show was scheduled to go on. I fell on stage at the end of Act 2 of the 3-act play and broke my arm. Not a good beginning. My daughter had commented that the karate kick that I was supposed to deliver in the play was not convincing enough. So, the next performance, I gave it a real kick. And true to my klutzy self, slipped and fell, hitting my arm against the edge of a platform that was part of the set. It was at the end of Act 2, and when the lights went off, I rushed to the dressing room holding the two parts of my arm together, whispering frantically, "I broke my arm. I broke my arm." Chito got a wooden hanger, broke it in two, and made it into a splint with a bandana or something. They put a coat on me, which luckily was part of my costume, put my arm in the pocket, and warned everyone in the final scene not to ask to shake my hand. I finished the play, and right after the performance, Bibot took me to the emergency room of the Makati Medical Center. Luckily, my accident happened during a Sunday matinee, so I had a week to recover. Before the performance on the next weekend, Bibot made an announcement. she said, Mrs. Virata had an accident but will be performing. We are very glad to have her in a cast. One day, after I had been with Rep for 2 years, I asked Bebop why I wasn't being given more roles and better roles. Then, sometime later, when I repeated the question, she looked at me and said, "My dear, we don't cast nuns." Then she asked me, "Do you really want to become an actress?" I guess she thought I was in it just as a temporary diversion and would tire of it. I answered, "Yes." And so it began. "First," she said, "you are too uptight. You have many layers of masks put on for many years that are hiding who you really are. You are unable to let that core of you out. To be an actress, you have to be able to do that. It may be painful," she warned. It was. Everyone agrees that Bebop could be very hard on actors, but it seemed to me that she was hardest on me. I was yelled at, insulted, criticized at the receiving end of her very eloquent cussing, which, if it were not that I was the object of her wrath, would have been, because of her eloquent Tagalog, funny. The rest of the cast would try to hide their laughter. She vented her wrath on me even if I was not doing anything wrong, if she wanted to teach another, more sensitive actor a lesson. But the point is, I did do 163 roles at Rep. Some of them big roles. Roles that I wanted to do with all my heart. And all that time, even when others objected to my getting those roles, she defended me and kept giving them to me. She once said that she only was hard on those who had the potential and did not waste time or effort on those who didn't. That was a compliment. And so it went. Some friends who knew what I was going through asked why I stayed. But the bug had really bit me, and I could not leave. It was on-the-job learning. Sometimes joyful, sometimes painful, step by step. But I learned. At the end, even the demanding and uncompromising baby Barreto told Danny in her interview, she, referring to me, is an amazing person. Because prior to Rep, she didn't know anything about acting. And look at her now. That is out of sheer hard work and determination. She had to learn how to act, dance, and sing. From baby, definitely a compliment. So, why did I love acting? What was it that made me want to work so hard and to run the risk of instant public humiliation like all actors do? To go through so much pain? I think it's because I loved creating characters. When I created a character, I could lose myself. That person on stage was not me. I created more than 160 different persons, and none of them was me. There was an exhilaration that came when I stepped on the stage and effortlessly slipped into a character from beginning to end. That's why I love the stage. And I would spend the next 40-odd years acting on stage forever.
This is a very, very short medley on some of my snippets from some of my favorite musicals. Nonsense is habit forming, let us tell you why. When a sister gets applause, it's a special high. There is nothing we can do when we get a laugh or two. It's something we cannot control once we're on a roll. A chorus line. Everything was beautiful at the ballet. Raise your arms and someone's always there. Yes, everything was beautiful at the ballet. I was happy, I was pretty, I would love to at the just like you did before. Your Papa Cupid is standing close by. Oh, Daddy, don't let your sweet baby cry. Just pick me up on your knee. I just get so when you squeeze me. Yeah.
They say that love is just another kind of trade, that nothing comes for free. The piper must be paid.
Well, I don't believe it's true. I may have thought so once, but not since I found you. Make one a little, yeah. Make one a little one, yeah. I want one young man. I want one just began. Set one to the way. Set one to the way. Talk to the way to go. So, thank you again. Thank you so very much for coming. And now I have about 55 minutes if anybody wants me to sign a book.
And I got mine signed. Get a copy. Just Me by Joy Virata.